right field. I take off to third base. As I get to third, I realize I've got a choice to make. Do I play it safe and stay on third? Or do I take a chance and try to score? Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, when you have a choice, do you listen to your inner voice? I do. The only problem is, my inner voice suffers from multiple personality disorder. Let's go back out to the baseball field and see what happened. As I got to third base, my inner voice said, "Go! Take a chance! You're Pete Rose!" I said, "Yeah, I'm Pete Rose!" This is what I looked like just before I met the catcher and the ball at home plate. I'm Pete Rose! And this is what I look like 2 seconds later. I'm not Pete Rose! As I lay there in the fetal position on home plate, all of a sudden my inner voice said, "You should have played it safe. You ought to do what your daddy would do." Now, would my dad have stayed at third base? Well, he said he would have on the way to the emergency room. And as I laid there on the table, getting my broken nose set, my inner voice said, "You ought to do what your daddy would do." That story took place over 20 years ago. Things have changed, right? Just this summer, I went with my mom, my dad, my wife, and my 3 sons to Cedar Point Amusement Park. Have you been to Cedar Point Amusement Park? Then you know. 17 roller coasters. The Uber coaster is called the Top Thrill Dragster. The Top Thrill Dragster shoots you out the gate at 120 miles per hour. You then go straight up 420 feet. You turn around, come straight back down 420 feet, and you're back in the station in 13 seconds flat. Out of 120, up 420, down 420, back in the station in 13 seconds flat. Do you have any idea what that does to a 45-year-old body? Neither do I! My inner voice took one look and said, "I don't think so." See, when I was 25, roller coasters were a thrill ride. But now that I'm 45, they give me a headache. They make me nauseous. They make me dizzy. Basically, they're a hangover on rails. So it might surprise you just a little to learn what I did that day. Along about 4:30, my mom, my dad, and my 6-year-old son, Tommy, went to Camp Snoopy Playland. My wife and my 2 older sons, Kenny and Joey, went to ride the Magnum XL 200. As I was debating my options, Kenny, a teenager, looked back and said, "So, Dad, going to Camp Snoopy?" I said, "To the Magnum!" And I sat down in the Magnum next to a teenager. And my inner voice said, "You can do this. You're still 25. I said, "Yeah, I'm still 25. We started up that first hill. We got to 100 feet. My inner voice said, "You know what? You're 30 anyway." We got to 150 feet and I turned 35. For every 50 feet we went up, I aged another 5 years. If that coaster had been any higher, I would have died of old age. This is what I look like just before we crested the hill. I'm 35! And this is what I look like 2 seconds later. Oh, I was sitting next to a teenager. I couldn't say a thing. But my want to do what your daddy would do. I said, yeah. From now on, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to do what my daddy would do. And we went back to Camp Snoopy Playland. And when we got there, my mom was sitting on a bench by herself. I said, where's Tommy and where's Dad? He said, well, they got to talking. They decided Camp Snoopy's for babies. So the two of them decided to take a chance and ride a roller coaster. It turned out, when I take a chance, I do what my daddy would do. And as I had this revelation, my dad and Tommy came back from their roller coaster ride. And right then, when I saw the smile on his face, Tommy, my dad,